As it's nearing end of year, I wanted to make a video about how to properly fill out the W-9 form. So this video will be great for you if you need to fill one out for yourself as an individual or for yourself for a business that you own. But this video will also be helpful for business owners and office managers that are collecting W-9s from contractors of your company or the company you work for, because you can, with the information in this video, review the W-9 form they are giving you to make sure it's correctly filled out. So then when you give it to your accountant who's processing the 1099s, they don't end up sending it back for various reasons. So I'm going to begin filling this out as an individual, and then I will make edits to it as if I am then the owner of a company, and we'll talk about different types of companies. So if I'm just an individual filling this out because I'm going to do some freelance contract work for a company, I would obviously begin by just putting my first name in here. Row number 2 is only if I, as the individual, have created a company name, an LLC name. If I'm just operating under my first and last name, I don't need to put anything on row number 2. Sometimes I see people putting the name of their employer or client, so to speak, on row 2, and that is not correct. If you don't have a company name, don't put anything on row 2. For question 3, since in this first example we're filling this out as an individual, we're going to check individual. And so this is, again, if you're using your first and last name, if you're operating under your social security number, even if you have formed an LLC, as you can see here, it says single member LLC. If it's just you, or what the IRS would call a disregarded entity, this is still the box that you check. If you are filing a Schedule C tax form for your activity, this is the box that you would check. Number 5 and 6 are the address of yourself, not the address of who you're doing work for. Requester's name and number 7 here, I usually leave blank when I'm filling this out. If you wanted to put the name of the person you're giving this form to, of the person you're going to work for, that could go here under requester, but it's not necessary. And then part 2 is also required, social or EIN. So if you have filled in a name, first and last name on row 1, you need to put a social security number. You cannot have an EIN number with a person's name, and you can't have a company name with a social security number. So what you have in part 1 and in this demographic section have to match. So in this example, since I'm filling this out with just my name, I would go and I would fill in my social security number. And then of course you have to sign it. It's kind of hidden down here. People miss this, but you do have to sign this and you have to date it. So that is the correct way to fill out the form if you are an individual freelancer. Now, if you have formed an LLC for your activity, you can put the name of the LLC on line 2. Once you fill in line 2, you can now, in part 1, put an EIN number. As far as what you check in box 3, if you're a single member LLC, it's still appropriate to check this same box. As you move into different types of LLCs, then you might pick something else. So if you have multiple members in your LLC, you would check that you are a limited liability company, and you would come to this often ignored line and put P for partnership because you have 2 or more members of your LLC. If you filed IRS Form 2553 to elect to have your LLC taxed as an S corporation, you would put S on this line. And for both the S and the P option, you would put an EIN number in here. You would not put your social security number in. So when I'm filling this out for my company, I put my name, my company name, and I put my EIN number. And I sign and date it. If you have any other questions about how to properly fill out a W-9 form or verify that one has been filled out correctly, feel free to put a question in the comments or reach out to us on our website. If you need help filing your 1099s, which are due on the last day of January, you can reach out to us for help with that as well. We can file your 1099s for you and provide your contractor with an electronic download option or a mailed copy. And if you aren't sure if the EIN number or social that you have been provided is accurate, we can verify that against the IRS database at any time of year. You don't have to wait until the end of the year to do that. But if you haven't collected all these forms from people you've been paying, we highly recommend you start that process now. And as a best practice, we would recommend that you collect this form before you issue any payments to people. So when you're hiring a new person, it's a good idea to get all of your new hire paperwork signed, any contracts, get this form, get any proof of insurance that you need, proof of workers' comp as all package unit, so you're ready to go at the end of the year. Thanks for watching. If there's anything that we can do for you, feel free to reach out.